Welcome to another episode of Marketing Tips for Doctors. I'm your host, Dr. Barbara Hales, and today we have with us Dr. Juliana Nahas. She is a board-certified pediatrician and a functional medicine certified practitioner who specializes in treating complex pediatric health conditions like autism, ADHD, autoimmune disorders, obesity, asthma, allergies, eczema, you name it, she does it. For over 25 years, Dr. Nahas has served her community in the tri-counties of Newton, Rockdale, and Walton, Georgia, and is now offering virtual visits for clients who live at a distance and also people that just are not comfortable going back to the doctor's office yet with the Omicron virus going around. Dr. Nahas is an integrative physician experienced in both conventional and holistic functional approaches, as well as in mind, body, spirit medicine to help your children have the best overall health possible. After experiencing her own troubles with an autoimmune condition that almost rendered her crippled, Dr. Nahas searched all types of conventional and alternative modalities to get well again. She knew that taking Advil every day wasn't the answer, and she found that energy healing, yoga, and mindset meditations, as well as functional approach, led her to resume her vibrant energy and vitality in a few short months. Now, she combines her knowledge and expertise with her pediatric and adolescent clients to customize their treatment approach and help them restore their optimal health. Welcome to the show, Dr. Nahas.
Thank you, Barbara. So glad to be here.
Well, it is a pleasure having you here today. I understand that you have created a mini course. What is that all about?
The MiniCourse talks to families who are considering working with me about what it's like and what are some considerations and nuances that come into play when you're looking at, a holistic approach to ADHD, autism, depression, and anxiety. So I do a lot of mental health work, even though I'm a pediatrician. I've had, tons of experience over the last decades or 3 decades, really 30 years of practice. Seeing that, you can't just look at it as a nail. Like you can't just come to it with one tool. You need a multi-disciplined approach. And that was true for my health as well when I was sick. So now, with my own experience and my training, I thought I would share some of this experience in this mini course and talk to parents like I'm talking with you just about, okay, if you have this issue, what do we need to consider? What do we need to think about?
Well, this is really novel. In all my years as a doctor and beyond, I have never actually heard of a doctor creating a mini course for patients to inform them and guide them along the way. So you're really on the cutting edge.
I got tired of repeating myself, so to speak. So I thought, let me record it because everybody that I meet, I'm saying the same thing over and over again. So I thought this would simplify my work as well.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
And I guess that is also what prompted you to write a book.
Yes,
The book that it's out already or it's coming out?
it's out. I have a copy right here. Amazon, I don't know if you can see it. Amazon is having trouble printing, so it's print on demand. But I think I gave you the listing. You can
Yes.
hear it later.
Listeners
So
will be able to hear that. We'll be able to see that in the show notes. And the book title is called Wellness Wisdom, the Holistic Guide to Revitalizing Your Mind, Body, and Soul. Tell us a little bit about that book and what prompted you to write that.
I co-wrote it with a bunch of my friends. Actually, all of us are either holistic practitioners or in a related field, so complementary field. And we co-wrote it as a project of love last year. And we're very glad to have it released this year and have it available. I think parents in my practice are raving about it to their friends, and I'm seeing a lot of people want copies because it's new, cutting edge information, as you said, and it's really the wave that I see medicine taking in the next few decades. Like it's gonna really become very important for all doctors to embrace this philosophy and not just continue on the trajectory we've been on in the past.
Absolutely. All of us originally were trained in traditional medicine. And, there are many doctors that say, well, I'm only experienced at traditional medicine. How do I even, decide to or go beyond or get the additional tutelage that I need
Yeah.
to transition into a more integrative health?
So I can share my story if you want, how I got into it, because it was
Yes, I
definitely not, yeah, it was not a straight path at all. I mean, my own personal health required me to look into other ways, because when I went to see my orthopedic doctor and my chiropractor, each one gave me opposite information, and like it was clashing advice. So I'm stuck in the middle thinking, well, none of this works for me. What else can I do? And so I started listening to telesummits back then. It wasn't podcasts, but it was telesummits, and learning from luminaries like JJ Virgin, Mark Hyman, Daniel Amen, listening to their talk and seeing how they approached their patient's health situation. And from there, I jumped on to IFM, so Institute of Functional Medicine, and took their foundational class. And then I decided I didn't want to study adult functional medicine. So I went with Chris Kresser at the ADAPT Institute and did sort of an intensive year certification. And then I went on to Dan Kalish and did his institute certification for 3 years. And then I found mentors. So I studied with Kurt Waller, who's an expert in autism, and James Greenblatt, who's an expert in ADHD and mental health. And I'm still adding, courses here and there where I feel the need for it. But after all of the studying, it took me, over 5 years, right? I feel equipped and ready to really share my knowledge and share my expertise and help the patients that need it the most.
Well, Juliana, I think that you're really one of a kind. There are a lot of parents out there that are saying, I need help. I'm
Yes.
looking for the right resources for my child. And I just don't think that the traditional medicine has been adequately helping or helping to my satisfaction. Where can I go? And there are many that, don't even know that you exist. So, how is it that you are promoting yourself? How are you getting the word out so that people know about you?
Right. I am using Facebook ads with the help of a company called Big Boost Marketing. They've been with me. They've helped me build my website and help teach me, because they work with doctors who are in functional medicine or integrative medicine. So they've helped me do Facebook ads and launch a campaign in my immediate area, my 15-mile radius area. So I'm not broadcasting nationwide, although if people do find me on the internet, they're welcome to reach out and work across state lines, but I will need them to come see me. So that's the only, downside of being an MD. You can't coach, you have to actually be a doctor.
Right.
So
Now,
they,
have you been able to get prospective patients through these Facebook ads?
yes. Mhm. I have.
That's really
And
good to know.
part of my outreach too is, posting on our page. So sharing information through Instagram and Facebook, um, doing live webinars, interviewing colleagues and sharing their wisdom on YouTube. So I'm starting to increase my outreach, but ultimately it is organic and it is mostly word of mouth. When parents are happy with the results they're getting with their children, they're going to tell families they know who have similar issues. And that's really how we grow.
Have you considered yet becoming a speaker for organizations that represent ADHD and autism? Because autism has a very big network. Have you considered getting in front of them?
I think I'm just getting a feel for that. I didn't have a lot of speaking training up till this year. So since writing the book and all that, I'm getting more on podcasts, but I haven't really approached companies. So, maybe they'll find me organically, or maybe I'll stumble upon somebody that wants to interview. But I do have an upcoming summit I'm going to be on with Dr. Terry Walls. That's going to be on February 10th.
Well,
So
yeah, now that you have the book, it's a
yes,
perfect opportunity to say, listen, this is what I do, and this is a book that I have. And it's a book that may be available to the people that come to your, talk or summit, although a lot of talks are still being virtual. Uh,
correct.
so you're really a perfect candidate to be a keynote speaker.
All right, we'll work on it.
And have you been on many podcasts yet?
A handful. Yeah,
And I think I see TikTok in your future for the
oh gosh, I don't know about that. Um, but it's fun. TikTok is fun.
yeah, I could see you dancing away, getting your staff to dance away to the typical trending music. So what are some tips that you could give to parents for their children?
One of my mentors, James Greenblatt, says, people now are considering nutrition as this alternative health. Well, nutrition was never an alternative health thing. It's always been part of health. So focusing on good basic diet, eliminating the additives, the sugars, the food coloring, just some basic tweaks in the diet is really essential. Starting with, if you can afford it, go buy organic meats and organic vegetables. Not all of them. You can go to the ewg.org website and get their dirty dozen list, so you can know exactly which one must be organic and which one are okay to buy ordinary.
Mhm.
And that'll help with the budget. The other thing is fresh air. I think with COVID, we were very much compromised in that we were shut indoors, no exercise, no daylight. People's sleep schedule was all over the map. And that's a big, big damaging factor on the cycle, on our biorhythms. So going back to sleeping, between 9 and 10 p.m., getting up at 6 in the morning, acclimating with the cycle of the earth, and then spending time in nature and getting some sunlight is really essential in moving the body. So we can start very simple measures, because a lot of people don't even have these foundational habits, if you will, in their lifestyle.
Well, you all have been listening to Dr. Juliana Nahas, who is a doctor to know, especially if you have a child that needs additional attention, because she's quite novel in her field. And I would love everybody to get to know your name. So when people hear about you, how do they reach you? How do they contact you?
I think the easiest way is to find my website, because a lot of the info is on there. So covingtonpediatrics.com.
That's covingtonpediatrics.com.
Yeah. And from there, there'll be a navigation bar at the top. It says start here, and you'll see through that a menu of things to go and look at. So part of it is my mini course. I also have a webinar. I have a blog on that website that talks about the topics that I address. So there's a lot of resources that are free on my website. And if you like what you see, you can even apply to have a free consultation with me for 30 minutes. And I'll go deeper with you and really try to find nuances of how to best approach your child's issues.
That's really great that you are offering so much value to people that are not even patients yet of yours. That's really such a wonderful community service that you provide.
It's a labor of love. It's something I really enjoy and love doing. And I've seen the miracles, like once you've tasted the Kool-Aid, you can't go back. I've seen the results of working with me and working with this methodology of functional medicine. And it's just a miracle creating pathway. Like, why wouldn't I offer it when I have such great results with my patients? It's benefiting the world. It's benefiting these children, and children are our resource for the future. If we don't take care of them, who will? We'll have a horrible situation on our hands if we let these children grow up, not taken care of.
That's
So it's,
absolutely true.
yeah.
Can you share with us a story of one of your successes?
Yes, I'd love to. Joey was 2.5 when his parents brought him to me. He was recently diagnosed as moderate autism, having moderate autism, and he was barely speaking. He maybe had 10 words. And usually by that age, children should be speaking in sentences, have more than 50 words. He also didn't make eye contact. He also couldn't sit still. So he was like this little bunny rabbit hopping everywhere, couldn't sit at any point in time to read a book or eat his meal or anything like that. And after we worked together, I got a call from his mom one day, and I get tears when I talk about Joey, but she said, "Dr. Juliana, I can't thank you enough. My husband and I are over the moon. Our child is now sitting still at the dinner table. He can not only speak in sentences, but his ABA therapist told us that he no longer needs to come to see us because they can't find features of autism in him anymore."
Wow, that's amazing.
He's very loving. He can sit and read a book with us. He can point to things and have a conversation. I mean, he became more neurotypical, right? And this happened by the time he was around 3.5, so a year later.
Mhm.
Now, I must say his parents followed everything I asked them to do. They didn't question me. They just trusted that I knew what I was doing. And that's why we have the results that we have with Joey. So I'm very happy to say, we can fix autism, maybe not cure it, but we can fix it so that he can function as normally as possible in the world.
That is so fantastic. And what a heartwarming story.
Yeah.
On that note, I sincerely say that if anyone has a need, they should reach out and speak with Dr. Juliana Nahas. She has so much knowledge and experience, and she sounds like the person that can help you too. This has been another episode of Marketing Tips for Doctors with your host, Dr. Barbara Hales. Till next time.